Hello, class. It's week 2 of Business Writing Essentials. This is when we're gonna, really get going. So, you had some homework to do for that first week that was due last night. I can't see if everybody did it. That's in the future, from when I'm actually recording this. But I anticipate that you did because you're all excellent students. I'm so excited to have you. If you didn't, hypothetically, let's say, um, please get that done. Especially, if you've just added the class and you're thinking, oh, that's stuff in the past. I don't need to do that. No, you need to do that. We all need to do that. We all need to introduce ourselves to the rest of the class through our self-presentation class profile assignment. So please get to that. In the future, I'm not going to really give you the opportunity to go back and do stuff that's been done. These class activities are a way to engage your active participation in the class as it unfolds. And so in most cases, you have an opportunity to upload, evidence of your engagement. And then once that moment is past, that moment is past. But this one in particular, I want to get everybody on board for. And if you're asking, well, Professor Dow, where's yours? How do we learn about you? How do we know who you are? Well, that's coming. Let's see yours first. I don't want to, do mine and then influence yours. I want to see your raw creativity in self-presentation, and then we'll take a look at what you have, and I'll add mine to it, so we'll all get an opportunity to get to know each other. I don't want to take up too much of your time, though. It's one of the things I like about online teaching. I'm very respectful of your time. I don't want to waste it unnecessarily, and so this format does allow for me to kind of pare things down to the necessary. And I'll try to keep to that throughout the semester. So let's get to it. What's necessary? Well, I have some more information for you about the class we can take a look at now. First off, and this may be a small thing, but it's pretty important nonetheless, office hours. So office hours will be held virtually this semester. I may be on campus from time to time. I have many other responsibilities other than just teaching this class for the writing program. But the university has, for the most part, asked us to keep office hours for the semester virtual because they can't, vet the individual offices for ventilation and, safe social distancing and all that. In any case, my office hours are virtually on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. That's Eastern Standard Time. At this link here, this will take you right to my Zoom office. And I'll be there. Chances are, for much of that time, the camera will be off. But as soon as you show up, I will unmask and join you. If I don't, just shout and I'll hear you and then do it. I set aside this time to meet with you as my students to discuss anything that's going on in the class, your work, your status in the course, business, technical, professional writing in general, or larger concerns dealing with the writing program, the English department, or the university as a whole. I've been at Rutgers now for 15 years, I guess, yeah, I'm pretty helpful and approachable. In addition to this tidbit of information, the location and times of my office hours, I've also uploaded the schedule of classes. If you've been paying attention, and I'm assuming you have, you know that the course will be arranged according to modules. And if you go to the module section now, you can see that the top module is called the Schedule and Printable Syllabus. Here, there is a class schedule, and there's also a printable copy of the syllabus with the schedule included if you need that sort of thing. It's already here on the syllabus tab. There's no new information here, but I don't know. Some people like to print it out and put a copy of it in their notebook. And so if you're one of those people, here it is. Let's take a look at the schedule of classes here. This schedule of classes breaks things down by week. And so you can see each week what I'm going to expect you to cover. This is subject to change as the semester moves along, so please do be alert to what's going on, and in particular, be alert to what announcements are coming out from the Canvas site Those should be appearing in your Scarlet Mail email inbox. If they are not, then you need to go to Canvas and change your notification settings so that you are getting the emails from the course and they are being delivered to your email inbox. So to take a look at this week, we're going to be reading chapters 1 and 14 of the class textbook. There will be a reading homework assignment, and I'm also going to have you complete a job post assignment. And then this will continue on, right, in similar format. So the following week, we're going to be reading Chapter 5. There's going to be an information literacy assignment. The graded assignments will have specific dates that they are due, and we'll tell you when the rough draft version comes due and when the final draft version comes due. We discussed rough and final drafts last week, and if you need any further clarification, information on them is available on the syllabus, and you can always ask me. Please remember that both rough and final drafts are integral to the process. Final drafts must demonstrate revision from rough drafts in order to be assigned a passing grade, and both the rough and the final will play some role in your final grade for that assignment. I put the dates here so that you can schedule these accordingly and know when major assignments will come due, so that you can arrange your time and your efforts accordingly. Finally, I'd like to remind students that there is no final exam in this course. Graded written assignments only. So the last day of classes will be December 13th. At the end of that day, the final draft of your final assignment will come due. And then that will be it. That will be the end of the class. After that point, you will owe me nothing, and I will owe you a grade. Let's move on to what else we're going to be working on this week. To revisit the basic function of the class, as I've said, each week there will be a new module. And that module will contain course content and activities that you are to complete, whether individually or as part of a group activity. So the content for this week is on this page, which includes this video. Very likely you've been alerted to the fact that this content became available through an announcement, or you're simply browsing the Canvas site and encountered it. The content for each week should show up at the very start of the week. There may be additional postings later on that week, and very often I'll be looking at submissions from students and offering commentary and further clarifying assigned work that's come due later in the week and the like. If that's going to happen, you'll get advance notice that additional content is coming, so you can keep an eye out for it. And it'll show up in the module for that week, so you can keep easy track of what you're expected to do at every point in the class. Now, if this doesn't look exactly like yours, it's because I'm looking at it from the back end. I haven't published this page yet because I haven't completed this video yet to put on that page. That's all going to happen in the future when you're seeing it, and that's why it may look a little differently from the way it looks on your screen. So the the assignments are going to be here in the modules, and they'll show up on the home page as well, so that you can always keep track of where it is that you are going. They'll also show up on the syllabus page at the very bottom of the page. There are multiple ways for you to keep track of work that's coming due and be aware of where we are in the course of the semester. So here there is a discussion of what I'm asking you to do, which is basically read Chapter 1 and then write up a list of qualities of good professional writing as you're able to glean them from your reading in that chapter, and then you'll upload that list with further considerations as identified on this page to the Canvas site. This work will be graded, as will all class activity participation assignments, as complete or incomplete. Complete meaning that you have finished it, incomplete meaning you did not do it or did not finish it. Once again, this is factored into the 10% class participation portion of your grade. It is also how I'm going to be measuring your active engagement with the course. And so if you miss 4 or more of these activities, then my assumption is that you are no longer actively engaged in the course. And then I will then check in to see if you are able to and willing to continue in the course or not. This is the course textbook that we'll be reading throughout the semester, beginning with this week. The course textbook is available in digital formats and physical formats. I'm recommending that you get the digital copy of the textbook because it makes online learning so much easier. That's the version I'll be using, though in the case of this textbook, there is virtually no difference between the digital version and the physical hard copy of the textbook. The digital version is also very easy to acquire. So if you notice at the start of the semester, we've enrolled this course in the first day materials program so that you have already access to it through the first day's materials. It's built to your student account, etc., etc. If you want to opt out of the first day materials and acquire the textbook on your own, that's fine. You have until September 15th to opt out. You would go to the first day materials link from the Canvas site, and then follow the instructions from there. And I'll remind you again next week, if you don't opt out, you will be billed for the textbook. And, we can fix it and make things good and, later on. But it's just so much easier to get it done according to the deadlines that is set out for it. In any case, everybody should at this point have a copy of the textbook so we can begin getting into it. For this week, I'm having you read Chapter 1, the first chapter of Part 1, Understanding the Workplace Writing Context, a case study. And I'm also going to be having you read Chapter 14, Finding the Right Job, which has information about job search and the job search documents that you prepare in order to apply for a job. So I'm having you do some homework for Chapter 1. Chapter 14, well, I'm also at the end of the week having you upload 2 job postings that you've identified that you could potentially apply for. Chapter 14 will give you a lot of help and assistance with that. We won't actually begin writing the documents until the following week, but it's a good idea to have this chapter completed before we get there so that you have a pretty strong idea of what it is we'll be doing and what to look out for and what kind of questions that you might have. That job search assignment for later on in the week is also in the Week 2 module on the Canvas site. And this post actually explains in some detail not just the job postings that you're to upload, but also the documents as well. So there is a discussion here with links of locating the job posting and then the relevant dates for the assignments. And the following week, next week, for Week 3, I'll post assignment pages that contain more detail about the rough draft and a final draft version of the job search documents. And we'll be talking about those in a good bit as well. All you need to do for this week, for the end of this week, Friday, by the end of the day, is upload 2 or more advertisements for internships or jobs that you could reasonably apply to. For this assignment, you should be selecting jobs that you could conceivably apply to right this very day, this very moment, once you've completed the appropriate documents, of course. And you don't need to apply for these jobs for these assignments, but you'll have all the materials that you could use to do so. So you may find yourself applying for and potentially getting a job or an internship as a consequence of this assignment. I think that's all the talking I'll do for now. That's the information that you need. And as we get used to the rhythm and the basic way that the course operates, there'll be less of a need for me to explain these things, and we can get into more detail and look at more material as we move through the semester. If there are any questions, you're welcome to visit me in office hours, Tuesday from 10 to 12 at the link provided to you on the homepage for the Canvas site, also located on the syllabus tab and the downloadable printed syllabus that is in the module section for the course. There will be right away Monday morning a Week 3 module with content dedicated to assisting you in writing up your cover letter and your resume and directing you to both group and individual activities for that week. So I hope everyone had an enjoyable long weekend and kept relatively dry. And I look forward to reading through your class profile assignments now, which are waiting for me in the future to take a look at. I'll see you soon.